Hey guys, and welcome to part 22 of my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. In the last episode, we went through a load of Gaia Gates and we unlocked a load of new missions. So first up, we're heading over to Rooftop Run. We've got 2 missions available to us here, one for day, one for night. And this is perhaps the strangest mission in the game. Not because of what we're doing, it's a simple time attack. It's just the level structure. At first, and for the vast majority of this act, it all looked very familiar. So we've already had plenty of time attacks, so all we've done is just gone through the exact same stage as the regular act, only it's just a smaller portion of it. However, some of the later game time attacks decide, you know what, we're just going to have you play through the exact same stage all over again. Only this time you're not ranked for it, and we're refilling your time limit. So once I've come back to get that, we move on again, and this is nothing new. This is exactly the same stage, right up until the very end, where for some baffling reason, the level design is completely different. I don't know why. I don't know if this is as a result this is the same stage recreated, but it's been had stuff altered at the end, or if it's been worked from the ground up but they decided to make it identical. Because everything else about this stage is exactly the same. Like, we've seen all of this, the rings are in the same place, the springs are in the same place, the enemies are in the same place. There's nothing new, but they decided, you know what, rather than have them face off against the Aero Chaser again, we're going to very slightly alter the level right at the very end. Which, unfortunately, somewhat, very slightly reminds me of the HD extra stages. The Rooftop Run Act 2 and Act 2 2. Which I really didn't need reminding of, because they are some of my least favourite stages in Sonic, like Sonic in general, no matter the game. I really didn't need reminding of them, but unfortunately, they're here. I would like to remind everybody that this level is called Rooftop Run. And I don't even think this counts as a rooftop. This is just a random slope that's hovering in the air. Unless it's got some sort of legs. But I don't know. Oh look, we're running on rooftops. We're running on rooftops, and those are the only rooftops we're going to be running on. Oh, Sonic, you turn around so slowly when you're in 2D in this version. You're fine in 3D, it's just in 2D. You can turn around here if you want to, but there's no item box down here this time. But there is an invisible wall, occasionally. We go down here, so far everything's the same, and all of a sudden, brand new level design. Make sure you jump here. That platform falls down, but you need to wall jump there and wall jump here in order to get this item box. And there we go. Now we just proceed to make our way through the aqueduct, but because I took that upper path, we also skip a good portion of that. We just ride on these pulleys. Very stony around here, all of this architecture. But again, this is the only time we ever see this. There are no other levels that are like this. We never come here again. It is purely at the very end of that mission. It's just such a strange thing to have. The entire thing is exactly the same, except rather than the Aero Chaser, it just suddenly changes to that little bit. I don't get it. Why is that the only bit that's different? Anyway, find the treasure. Have we had a mission like this one yet? I don't think we have. I want to say this is the first one. So, for these missions, as you can guess, we have to find these 5 special rings. Which, unfortunately, in terms of appearance, do actually remind me quite a bit of the special rings from Sonic Advance 2, which I also didn't need reminding of, because I hate those rings. Everybody hates those rings in Sonic Advance 2. Why Dimps thought they were a good idea is something I will never understand. But we have to find 5 of them. There's a few missions like this. In fact, we're going to be doing 2 of them in this video. We're going to have another one later on. They can be found inside certain boxes, other breakable objects, even inside enemies. It's like I got that first one by hitting that dark bat sniper. I think there's one inside those crates just up there. Or they might just be hovering around like that one is over in the distance. Just check everything down here. I believe there is only the one item box. So everything else is fine once you get it. So cross the rooftops because we do more running on the rooftops in the night stage than we do in the day stage. I mean, I guess the dash you're technically running. You don't have to take out the dark bat snipers. I think... Oh no, okay, there's 2 of them. There are 2. I was going to say there's only 1, but no, it turns out that actually 2 of them do. I mean, they still give you a Gaia Force. It's not much, but it's some. Unfortunately, this one landed in a very awkward place. I'm pretty sure I wasn't even close to that, but okay. I mean, it looks like there Sonic's arm still had a hitbox, so I was still able to pick it up. Weirdly, the barrels aren't giving me any Gaia Force though. They just decided to have that one object there, just so they had one more hurdle for you to jump over. I mean, that one's there too, but it doesn't block the entire floor. They just wanted one last obstacle, I guess. Anyway, I think that... Wait, look, I got 160 Gaia Force. Amazing. Yeah, I believe that's the only item box in there. Right, so now our next 2 missions are over in Cool Edge. And once again we are on this bobsleigh. And it contains another item box that can be kind of a pain to get at. Not as bad, but still annoying. So the reason I hate having item boxes in the 100 ring missions is you have to make sure that you don't collect too many rings, because if you collect everything at once you may not get to the item box in time. For most of them that isn't too bad, because the item box is early on in the stage. You're not really you can easily get it before you get to 100 rings. This is an exception to the rule, because the item box is right at the very end of the stage. So you gotta make sure you don't grab too many rings. However, you also have to make sure you don't grab too few rings. Okay, so I miss it then. There is a boost pad up there. I think I miss it again. Yeah, I do. Thankfully, I'm able to turn around. See? HD version. You can't do that. You have no drift. It's so much slower. You can't boost either. Because if you have too few rings, there's no way of getting to that top section. There isn't a boost ramp to send you back up. If you go too far up, you better get drifting, because there's nothing to save you from just falling into the bottomless pit and failing the mission. So if you have too few rings, there isn't 100 rings on that bottom section. So, have too few, you're not going to have enough. And you will fail. Right. We all hate the don't break anything missions. We hated them in Secret Rings. I mean, I hate Secret Rings, so there you go. But we have that, and how... We also have them in the night stages, and this is probably the worst one. Seriously, I hate this mission. This one gave me so much trouble on my first playthrough. Or second playthrough, whichever it was. Whichever was the playthrough, I did go through it all. I mean, I think I did try and go for as much as I could, but for some reason I got stuck at 68 moon medals. I must have missed something in one of the Gaia gates. I don't know what, though. I missed something that prevented me from getting to 69 moon medals and getting the rest of the Gaia gates. I just don't know what. Whichever playthrough it was, this one gave me so much trouble. You know, avoid breaking stuff, but they decide to give you a load of dark... they decided to give you a load of killer bees and spikes. Now, the spikes aren't so much of a problem. You can just throw them away from whatever objects are around. The killer bees, on the other hand, are much more annoying. So you have to try and lure them to chase you over into an open area. And then try and beat them up. And the spikes keep spawning here. I don't know why. Don't know why you can just have the one. Or at least just have them all floating around together. But no, it's just going to keep on bringing them back again. As though it's a Gaia Gates. And you have to defeat them in order to proceed. But once we've dealt with all three, there we go. Still, I hate this mission. But at the very least, it's not under a super strict time limit like Rooftop Runs is. That, I would say, is the worst one. There is another annoying one still to come. It's in Arid Sands. That one's annoying because of the enemies. It's a bit of a different one, really. But we'll be seeing that when we get to it later on. I think that one's probably going to be in post-game. Speaking of Arid Sands, here we are again. Right, you want to take a specific path for this one. Once again, it's a ring mission, but they decide to give you an item box in. This one, having too many rings isn't a problem, but you do have to make sure that you go the right way. So, don't take any paths to the right. Just stick to the middle. Now, you don't need... I stick to the middle here as well. You don't need to do this. Because you're going to be turning around. You'd think the item box would be up there, but no, it's just rings. Since that's the much harder area to get to, but maybe they felt generous. It's just around there. We have this... I honestly don't know what it is, but it has wheels. But other than that, it controls exactly the same as the bobsled in Cool Edge. In fact, this thing comes in like 3 different variants, because Eggman Land has one of these as well. I mean, that's like a piece of a roller coaster. But they all control exactly the same. I'm pretty sure the wheels on this thing don't even Merv? Well, that was a Merv. Hey, you know what? A Merv, I know what that is. That's an enemy in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game.
No problem.
Merv. They don't move. The wheels don't turn. It's a still graphic. And our final mission for this part, which I realised I unintentionally did 2 missions in each area. There's another Find the Rings mission. I think I did unlock a mission, like 2 missions, I think, in Dragon Road as well, but I ended up completely forgetting about them. So after this part, I'll be going back to the Gaia Gate in Shamar, doing my least favourite room, and then I go to Dragon Road. Even though I'd already unlocked 2 missions there as well. And with each one, it's been a day and a night mission. And it's the same with Dragon Road. I'm pretty sure I unlocked a day and a night mission. So, we should get to that in the next part. Right, this one's kind of weird when it comes to the special rings. So you have these constantly spawning deep nightmares. Amazingly, and this is the only time in the game that this ever happens, no battle music. Unless Rooftop Run did it as well with all those dark bat snipers, I'm not sure, but there's no battle music for this. It just plays Arid Sands. Which is great, we've got that sexy, sexy saxophone. But, why is this the only stage that does that? It's like in the HD version where Eggman Land is the only stage that does that. It's weird. But for some reason, the special rings, 2 of them come out of the enemies you defeat. But it's not like they come out of the first one. I think they always just come out of whatever is... It's either a specific enemy or the second enemy. Because I think I defeat just almost all of them in the final area. But one specifically gives me the special ring. The thing is, they infinitely respawn. So even when you've defeated the one that gave you the special ring, it's still going to come back. it doesn't mean anything then, because you just need to collect the special ring once. It's not gonna... You can't just abuse that. It's just so weird. So I think it's inside one of these deep nightmares again. See, I defeated that one. Nothing came out. So let's try one of these. And that one randomly just gives me the special ring. Is it always that one? Is it a specific... Is it just the second one I beat? I don't know. What I'm pretty sure is, if that wasn't the last one I got, it would then respawn. Because they do just pop in. Just about. That took me to... In fact, that was exactly it. It took me to exactly 60,000. We're almost there. The final number is 72,000. Alright, well, next up we're heading into my least favourite Gaia room in the entire game. But thankfully this is post-commentary, so I can skip all the boring stuff. So I will see you guys then.